Hello, my name is Jessica McDonald, and this week for my assignment, I'm going to uncover some jobs that are on the market for the gaming transmedia storytelling community. So for this assignment, I used two job searching engines. I used Indeed, and then I used Simply Hired to find these jobs that are on the market right now. So let's just talk first about the storytelling jobs that I found. So the first one is obviously a screenwriter. So this job listing is literally looking for someone to be able to write and produce and create a script for a TV or a movie series. And that is literally the epitome of storytelling. Being a screenwriter is basically you're creating a story, you're creating characters, and you're giving this project to someone to be able to create. So that's ultimately the main job of being a storyteller, is to actually sit down and write a story with characters. So that obviously falls under the storytelling jobs. The second job that I found that is definitely relates to the storytelling is a creative director. And this job requirements are you'll be the creative director for marketing. So when that's going to be creative director for a brand. So ultimately what you're doing is you're coming up with a story for the brand to describe what the brand is, who the people behind the brand are, what their brand message is to their customers. And when you're creating a brand, ultimately what you're doing is you're telling a story behind what you're trying to sell or what the service you're trying to give. So creative directors are definitely storytelling. They're taking either a product or an idea or a person, and they're telling a story to their audience for a service or for a product or for notoriety. All right, now we're going to move into the second category of jobs that I did some research on, and this is the transmedia producing creating category. So for the first job that I found under that is a creative producer. So unlike a creative director, this person is actually in charge of the production of such things. So this creative director is going to take the story, basically take the story, and they're going to direct it and they're going to put it to life, and that is in terms of visuals, that's in terms of sound, that's in terms of everything. So for this example, for the transmedia, this is actually a film creative producer role. So this person would be in charge of taking a film and producing that and creating that. And of course, that falls under transmedia because this is the actual collaborative part of the work. So we have the story, now transmedia is actually taking the content and creating it. And then the second job that I found was the digital marketing specialist. So basically this is the creating portion. So this is where you would take the idea, you would take the content, and this is where you actually use that to market it and to put it out there so everybody can know the story and can see the visuals and stuff that's being created. So these jobs are kind of actually working alongside each other. We're starting with the story, now we're moving into the content and then development and the marketing to the people. So it's kind of interesting that what we learned this week, that these jobs correlate with each other and they kind of go in sequence, which is kind of cool. Okay, so then the last category is obviously our gaming jobs. So the jobs that I found for gaming jobs, the first one would be a video market artist. So basically this is the person who's creating the content, the video games, they're coming up with the images, they're coming up with the 2D and 3D graphics, what the actual game, the video game or computer game, whatever it is going to look like in terms of the video concept, in terms of the graphics and all that kind of stuff. So obviously that's super important when creating a game, the graphics and the visuals and the way that it appeals and looks on the screen, whatever screen that the customer is playing, is obviously super important. So that definitely falls under the gaming category. The second job that I found for gaming is graphic designer. So just as I was talking about creating the game, you also need someone to actually make the things, the 3D and all that. I'm not really super familiar with this because I'm not an artist or anything like that, but I do know that you would need a graphic designer to create a game, because for a game we need graphics, you need characters, you need to give life to the characters in the game and the parts of the game, the objectives of the game. So that would be a perfect job under gaming. So those are all the jobs that I found under the 3 different categories of the GTS community, and I definitely have to say that I enjoyed this opportunity. It definitely gave me insight into all the various different types of jobs that are out there and things that I would be interested in. I know that I'm ready to apply.